known as Datuk A.M.N. Rajamani now. Then I was A.M.N. Rajamani only, you see. And well, I'm reaching next month, 11/11, I will be, the 11th of November, I will be 81 years old. And Tan Sri Jaga will be 81 on the 2nd of November, see. And I'm referred to here in Malaysia as a track queen, okay? But how much importance we are given is another thing. We are, I would say, almost considered as forgotten athletes, you see. We had to sacrifice a lot in life to achieve what we did. Later, I will tell you about my story as a schoolgirl, how to save 5 cents. I was born in Tapah, Perak. My father was a storekeeper. He was a storekeeper for Central Perak, JKR Central Perak stores. We are 6 of us in the family. I've got 3 brothers and 2 sisters. We lost our mother when I was just 5 years old. My father, together with another Mr. Muthu, whom they brought up like a son, stayed and they managed to look after us. My father provided us with whatever he could. He never thought of himself. And he was a very generous person. If anybody comes and pleads and says, "Yeah, I am suffering, I don't have money," whatever there is, he used to give away. You see? So much so that is running in our family now. When you see somebody like, the workers around here, we just give them money and say, go and buy breakfast or whatever, you see. I used to buy breakfast for the guard here also, but only now I don't go out. You see, I'll tell you why later. All 6 of us, that means I have 5 left, 3 brothers and 2 sisters. And my elder sister was only 13 plus when my mother died. So the responsibility on my father was very, very great. In fact, while going to Tapah Road to bring back these water pipes, there was a major accident. You see, he was a very religious person. As they left, one white cockerel passed by the main road. He stopped the lorry, he said, let it go. Then another white goat, stopped the lorry, let it go. Then a white cow, he stopped the lorry and let it go. And they went and rammed into a huge rain tree. And he had compound fracture where the bones overlapped by 4 inches. And they had to put it back, and he was in hospital for 9 months with plaster casts up to his chest and the whole leg and the other leg up to the knee. He was such a person. He came out with all the suffering that he underwent. He came out and he signed a letter. He will not claim a single cent from the government. You see? And you know how difficult it is, and he decided that he would retire. And then we moved to Ipoh, you see. And he continued working in Tasik cement factory. And he had to support the family, you see. And he sacrificed a lot in life for us. I am what I am is because of him. Even my sporting career, after my Form 5, my hobby was sleeping. I will do all the housework. Everybody gets out of the house. I will be the only one. I'll do all the housework, cook everything. It's on the table and I will sleep. When he comes back for lunch, he sees everything. I'll be sleeping. When he comes back after work, he will see me sleeping. So he couldn't take it. So he went up to Mr. R. Supaya and told him, I don't want my daughter to become lazy. Come and take her to the field. So he brought Mr. Supaya, and in front of Mr. Supaya, he said, I don't want to see my daughter from 4 to 7. in the house. So I was literally, I would say I was chased out of the house. So I was forced to go to the field. And then once on the field, I just told myself, already here, I'm going to waste 3 hours here. As well, make the best use of it. And Mr. Supaya was a marvelous person. I would say that he sacrificed a lot for us. Within 6 months, I started in December. By June, I'd qualified for the Tokyo Olympics. You see, so you can imagine what a marvelous coach he was. Not only me, he had Karu Selvaratnam was one of his athletes. Victor was one of his athletes. 3 of us qualified for the Tokyo Olympics. You see, but of course, that at that time, being a young teenager, you know, when somebody controls you, he took so much care of me, which I hated. From food, what I eat, he will select. He will decide if he found somebody, one of the naughty boys coming and sitting next to me, he will come and sit next to me. You see, so I felt that my movement was restricted, and as a teenager, I didn't appreciate it. Only when I left Ipoh and went to KL, I realized what good he has done. And there was, we Indians believe in casting evil eyes, After every time trial, major meets or whatever it is, or if somebody comes and passes a remark, he would take me from training to his house. He'll go and collect sand. We believe in collecting sand in 3 T junctions. And then he'll get his wife to cast off, the evil eyes. And I used to sit there and laugh, you see. Only when I left Ipoh and went to KL, I was hospitalized twice. Once I had a septic throat. I was hospitalized for 10 days. Then I had my appendix out, you see. Again, I had to lay off. And the worst disaster came when I was struck by lightning. We were training for the Mexico Olympics at Police Depot because we had quite a few of the nationals, Rajima, Kamaruddin Sheikh, Cheryl Darrell, Jackie Kleiman, the group under Stanley Gao, Mr. Stanley Gao. We started warming up and it started pouring. So we decided to go to the pavilion. Either you cut across the field, across the track and go, or you take the normal track, this thing, it's the same distance. So we decided that when we reach the pavilion, we will go in there, you see. Lightning struck. A police trainee by the name of Govindan, who had just finished his police training and written to the mother to say that in 2 weeks' time he would be back home. He was struck. His abdomen, his chest was burnt. Cheryl Dorrell and myself, we were about 10 feet or 10 meters away from him. Cheryl felt that as though somebody kicked her leg, and she fell. I didn't know what happened. No memory at all, even how I went to the field. All I know is my husband, that time we were, we were friends. Was supposed to come, but he decided to go home from Terengganu he went to Rao instead of coming to KL. So I went for my training. I don't even remember how I went for training, who took me to, the field. Then the other athletes were all behind us. G. Rajalingam and all these people were behind us. Cheryl was with me. The Cheryl is one, who used to play the fool. So they thought Cheryl was fooling them, you see. So they passed us. Then they realized that I won't play the fool with my husband there in the police depot, My husband is a retired police officer now. He was head of narcotics investigation, you see. And they realized I wouldn't play the fool, you see, in police depot. So they came back and they saw me on the ground, semi-conscious. So they rushed, put us in the car and rushed us to hospital. It was at about 5:30. All the doctors had gone back. They jumped over, Istiak Mobrak, late Istiak Mobrak jumped over the fence of Dr. Ganesan, who was our sports doctor, who is Tan Sri Manikawaskar's former minister's brother. But they had gone out, you see. So came back, I was put in the third class ward on a trolley, arms all tied down because I was violent. I was semi-conscious, I didn't know anything, you see. And then as soon as my father and sister heard about it from Ipoh, they took a bus and came down to, I didn't even recognize my father. I didn't recognize anybody. And I was there on the trolley for 5 days, I would say, you see. And in fact, my husband also, as soon as he heard, he came over to KL and he was there. Mr. Mobrak, Istiak Mobrak's father, asked me, do you recognize this man? Who is this man? I think I've seen him somewhere. I didn't even recognize my father. The minute my father, as I told earlier, my father used to smoke cigar, goes out for a puff and comes back, and I say, why you're only coming today? You know, I didn't know what was happening, you see. Till on the third day, a little girl who grew up in the ward, she is dumb, she's a mute, and on the wheelchair, you see. She was abandoned by the parents. She brought a newspaper cutting, you see. They put my photograph on the lightning strikes athletes and my photograph there. And below was, I think, Govindan's photograph. Actually, it should have been the other way. See, they put, the minute I saw the papers only, my father snatched it away because doctors had already told another shock could be fatal, you see. So nobody wanted to tell me what happened. Nobody wanted me to know, you see. And of course, things went on as usual, not knowing what was happening, and you know. But I would say the doctors took good care of me, though I was in the third class ward, you see. On the fifth day, a big bouquet arrives from our first Prime Minister, Tunku Abdul Rahman, and he was supposed to come to visit me. But unfortunately, as soon as the hospital authorities knew that he was coming, they transferred me to the first class. They put me, you know, they dressed me up well and everything was clean. And, when some VIP is coming, what they will do, you see. And I was wondering what was happening, you see. Then unfortunately, he couldn't make it. There was some emergency where he had to go, you see. And that helped me that cleared my mind. You know, the shock I had, you see, that, expecting a prime minister to visit. I'm just an ordinary person, man. That shook me, and I slowly started regaining my memory. See? And there were lots of doubts also, but I stayed in the hospital for 10 days. The sad part is, when I was discharged, I was given a bill. And then when I recovered, in fact, my husband came all the way from Terengganu. We went to Majlis Soekarno-Negara, which was where the Twin Towers is now. And saw Mr. Mobrak and all, and he handed the bill. You know, he said he will take care of it. Took my bill, and I suppose he stored it up in his drawer. After 3 months, we get a notice because my husband got a guarantee letter from his boss. You see, with the guarantee letter only, they transferred me to the first class. As a teacher, I was not entitled for medical treatment then, you see. As an athlete also, I didn't get anything. And of course, I would say my bad times, Tan Sri Ghazali was in hospital after a heart mile attack or something like that. He was in hospital. That is the treatment we athletes got when we were representing or training for the nation. Training for the Tokyo Olympics, for the Mexico Olympics, and I was struck by lightning and I had to pay my own medical bill. What was a teacher's pay? I was getting about 300 something, you see. My lodging was my own. My food was my own. My transport was my own, you see. And to save 5 cents, I would carry my this thing and walk 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers just to catch the bus at, which goes direct to save 5 cents. See? That was our life. And every day after school, I will go to the stalls around, buy some food back and eat. Night also the same thing, you see. That was my life. If my life was so bad, what do you expect of lesser fortunate people, you see? I was a teacher, okay, I was getting my pay, you see. So that is what the life of the former athletes was. We never got a vitamin tablet. We never got anything. Even the spikes, my father saved some money, went to a Chinese cobbler and said, my daughter needs the spikes. So that man made spikes with nails that was about 1 inch plus long. Track, anywhere the same thing. After 3 months, the nail will shake. So my father will take it back to him. He'll open up and he'll sew a ring around it. This went on till I qualified for the Tokyo Olympics. There was only one government English school, you see, that was GS Tapah. And I was in the primary school, I think I was in standard 4, standard 5. You see, the sports master there was a very close friend of, I mean, all the teachers were very close to my father because he was the storekeeper. If they need any furniture, anything, they have to come to him, you see. And we feared the sports master. All students, nobody will be seen out of the house after 6:30 in the evening. Okay? Everybody, I was put as the anchor runner for the relay team, junior relay team. See, running against bigger people. Everybody frightened me, you see. And they said, if you lose, Mr. Kandavanam will come for you. The fear I had, of course, the last anchor runner of one of the schools was very good. She was a much taller, matured person. You see, she was, I think, in standard 6. So I got the baton. I ran for my life. And I managed to keep myself in front of her. As soon as I came out, then a lot of people said, oh, you will make a fantastic athlete. See? And that motivated me. But of course, we didn't have the facilities and all, you see. We'll go for relay practice twice a week. But that school is a great school. It has produced 4 Olympians. Yogeswaran, there's a Yogeswaran. I don't know whether I think one Mr. Arifin, I think he went to Singapore, and I don't know whether I think he passed away myself and another national athlete. Tapah has produced 5 Olympians then within that year, and of course Tun was team manager for one of the Olympics you see. And Tun Saji, he was also from Tapah, you see. That was a great school. But the fact that I managed to dip first. After that, a lot of people came and said, "You will make a good athlete." You see, but then I had no facilities. I had to come back, do the housework, school work and everything, because I didn't have a mother. And only when my father moved to Ipoh, I managed to get a place in Rajaprompan School. That also the headmistress, Mrs. Nadraja, wonderful lady. She said, "You go and get a recommendation first." So the former headmaster of Tapah GS School was in the ministry, in the education department. So my father took me to him. He said, "No problem." He took the phone. He said, Miss Annama Navaratnam, please give her a place in your school. See? And of course, I didn't pay much attention to sports. Sports selection also, I was seated behind the school with my friends eating kacang putih. See? The girls, when somebody came and said, "Mrs. Nadraja is looking for you." At the time, Annama Navaratnam. The minute you hear her name, we shiver because she was such a strict person, but a beautiful person. She is actually Datuk Mrs. Pubalan's sister. You see? Went to her. "I want you to run in the trials for selection for the relay team." With my skirt, I just ran. And immediately I was put in the relay team. Then 2 months, 3 months in a year, twice in a week we go for training to Coronation Park. That's where, to save 5 cents, we walk. You see? And we were under Mr. R. Pushpanathan, I told you, the veteran athlete who deserves a lot. We were under him. He coached us. And our relay team was one of the best in Central Perak. I actually I had no university education here. When I finished my Form 5, I was working as a temporary clerk in the land office. And then I applied for teacher training. I didn't even apply, you see. They said teacher training, and then I was called for, to attend the selection. So I went there. They immediately gave me a place for teacher training. See, so I was actually posted to Johor Bahru. I didn't want to go because I didn't want to leave the coach here and the environment here and go to Johor Bahru where I had nobody. So I opted for RTC, Regional Training Center. So 5 days in a week, we attend school as teachers. Weekends, we go for lectures. You know what tough as a student teacher, it charts to all that, you see. And of course, Mrs. Nadraja was very encouraging. She will say, "I know you don't have a mother because first term, everything will be read. No time for studying." So she says, "I know you don't have a mother. I'll act as your stepmother." See? We used to fear her, but she was a beautiful person. There are times when I think I was in Form 4 where we had to change our shoes. See? I mean, this is what helped me to build my character, I had no money. I didn't want to ask my father for money. I thought I had just 1 more year to go. You see, from white shoes, ordinary shoes, we had to change to brown leather shoes because our uniform was in a royal color, yellow and brown skirt. So she called me up. "You are the secretary of the prefect's board and yet you have not changed your shoes." See, but she knows my family well because the late Srinivasan brothers were my cousins and she was close to them and she used to meet my father and my sisters there, you see. And she said, I told her, "Mrs. Nataraja, you know my family situation. My father's a retired man. He has got, the family to support. I don't want to trouble him." She said, "Follow me." She went to the office. took a handbag, took out 10 ringgit. Our shoes was 9 ringgit 90 cents. And she gave me 10 ringgit. I said, no, Mrs. Nadraja, I cannot accept this because I won't be able to pay you back. She said, I'm not asking you to pay. Then I said, I will not accept it. Then she said, okay, you pay me what you can. See? And then I thought to myself, I don't want to trouble my father. So I was carrying my school bag, my training bag and all. After school, our lunch will be mee goreng. Mama, and that man was such an understanding man, he will put one egg for me free. See? After lunch, then 3 o'clock, walk from MGS, RPS was behind MGS secondary. So we walked from there to Ipoh, Newtown, to catch the bus to go for training, all the way carrying the heavy load. You see, to save 5 cents. Every month I'll go and give her what I've saved. You see? So this helped me to build my character and my strong determination in whatever I do. I always told myself I must do the best that I can. You see? And that is my character building. Because I'm telling all this because I would like the young ones to know, you see. I mean, at least out of maybe 100, 5 may get motivated. I mean, to build up their character, you see. So, not for Mrs. Nadraja and Mr. Pushpanathan and the coaches and all, I would never ever have made the grade, you see. And of course, the backbone was my father. He would walk, his leg was shorter by 2 inches. He would walk from, he'd get up at GH Ipoh, walk to Coronation Park, stand there and watch me train, and you'll get back home before I get home. You see? But my sincere thanks to a couple of coaches who, some way or other helped me, you see. Because the major role was Mr. Pushpanathan, Mr. Supaya, and Mr. Stanley Gao. And of course, the main person, we had this American consultant, William Miller. He, in fact, every time the coaches, Mr. Supaya will call and say, okay, she did this, for this thing. And he'll say, okay, now you do this, guided Mr. Supaya. And within that year, he produced 3 Olympians, So you can imagine what a great man, and he's got nothing. See? Even Nashita Singh used to be with us, you see, throwing the javelin, and got nothing. Maybe, other this thing from Perak, but it was never even given a datoship for the sacrifices done. All these things makes me a very sad person when I sit and think about it, I mean, now what they are doing is all focusing on the present athletes. Present athletes' time will come. Take care of the former ones who have sacrificed, who have shown the way to the present athletes. You see. Whom can we voice this, right? Okay, Olympics, I didn't do that well. First and foremost, I was still very immature. You see, I was not exposed to major meets. But it was my, what shall I say, my first step towards achievement. See, I went up to the second round, quarterfinals, but after that, I mean, athletes were all well trained, and this thing with 6 months of training, what do you expect? Miracles. Then, following that, I also had to run the 800 meters. You see, and how they bully the athletes. You see. On the day that they were supposed to confirm our entries, our team manager was very busy with his gang somewhere, you see, failed to register me. Meanwhile, the appeal that William Miller and Mr. Stanley Gao and Mr. Supaya had put in, Mr. Supaya paid his own fare and came up there, Tokyo Olympics, 1964. Mexican Games 4 years later, and they went an appeal, you see. that was not my fault. It was, they failed to register because they made up some stories and said that, the manager had to go and see to some emergency needs. So I said, okay, if there's a last minute withdrawal, we'll give her a chance to run. I warmed up, I waited. Athletes were called to the starting point. And then I was waiting. I was sitting alone in the waiting room. And I said, what am I sitting here for? They already lined up, you see. I went and sat with the other athletes and coaches, our Malaysian coaches. And one athlete fell ill. At the time, they were supposed to go down for the start. So she withdrew. And the whole blame came on me, saying that I was reluctant to run. I was not with the athletes. I was seated with somewhere in the stadium, you see. I mean, why put the blame on an athlete? Admit she was here with us. In fact, Mr. William Miller and Mr. Supaya were there. And together with them only I went up, you see. So likewise, so many athletes have been victimized by the officials, you see. We shouldn't be. You are there for us. Not for us, you won't be there. If you can't assist, but don't demoral athletes, you see. So all this sometimes saddens athletes, How badly I would have taken it then, you see. I felt like throwing off my spikes and this thing, but persuasion from Mr. Supaya and my father, I continued my thing, you see. 1965, Siap Games. The time the Siap now is SEA Games. I took part in 4 events, 100 and 4 by 100, 200, 400, 800. All were gold. 3 in fact, all 4 were records. You see, Jega is another one who has got 4 records, 4 records as well as 4 gold medals. You see, and that is the fate of then Asian Games. I was still doing my training under Mr. Sanliga. I was already in KL, posted to KL after my teacher training. I took part in 800 and 400. 400, I was a young athlete. I didn't even expect, but when my name was mentioned, there was a lot of cheers, you see. And then before that, I was wearing Adidas. In fact, I didn't even have a proper pair of spikes till that, I don't know whether it's Tansri, Gills and Company. He saw me with that. He said, it was government services, you see. I was actually given a temporary job in the land office because they wanted me to represent Perak, you see. He saw me, he said, I will give that. He made an official announcement, I will give that girl a good pair of Adidas spikes, you see. And that was a treasure to me. Not like today after an event, even school meets, you walk around the track and you see how many things you can pick up, you see. And then another thing that gave me a little bit, a pinch of thought was, I was called up by the SX company to collect my SX track shoes and track spikes. But they took my Adidas away, you see, because they didn't want me to use my Adidas. So I asked Mr. Supaya, why are they giving then Mr. R. Subramaniam, middle distance late R. Subramaniam. He told me they are giving these to prospective winners. So I said, I am supposed to be a prospective winner. He said, okay, I couldn't be bothered. I'll do my best. I managed to win the 400. But 800, we were very unfortunate. I was only one, you see. I think one of the athletes from Israel then, she was very good. I could have got the silver, but what happened? two athletes from Japan. They had three. They blocked. One in front of me, one beside me, one at the back. So I couldn't move. See, that's how I lost my 800 to, It didn't matter, but I was the first Malaysian woman. I'm proud to say till today, I was the first Malaysian woman to win an Asian gold. And then it was held in Bangkok. The Asian Games was held in Bangkok. Till today, earlier they had all of the gold medalist names on the entrance, they had put our names. We had Tan Sri Jega, Nashita Singh, myself, and 4x100. G. Rajalingam, and all these people, Jega, and the relay. Now they've moved it to a wall because the alphabets were falling off, So they've moved it onto the wall. Of course, they put my name as Rajamani. When I went and saw, I told them there should be another A here. Whether they have rectified the mistake or not, I don't know. You see, Thailand has our names on the stadium wall. The main entrance, the wall here. What does Malaysia have? You find my name anywhere in any street, any buildings or anything? No. You see? It's a sad thing. You see, Tan Sri Jaga has done so much for the country. Nashita Singh, all these people. Where do we stand? And somebody from here, Japanese neighbor to my neighbor, she came, Auntie, I saw your photograph in Bukit Bintang. You see? I said, yes, sir. For National Day, put up, displayed some. And then another athlete here said, I don't know whether it is you. It's a very young lady. The son went by, I don't know, I think Bukit Bintang, I don't know where. He saw this photograph of the National Sports Award winners, and he posted to me. You see? Now, I even appealed to, I'm very forgetful now, mainly because of not proper sleep at nights, you see. Our former sports minister, Tyree. In fact, when he was minister, I went up to him and I told him, I said, I hear they're going to tear down the stadium. I said, please don't do that. It is treasure to us. It brings us great memories. Now, why don't you all convert that into a sports museum? You see, display, all the former athletes, their achievement, and all the young ones one day will at least see our photograph and recognize us, you see. I felt so sad when I was told that they pulled down part of the stadium. Now I hear the whole stadium is gone. I don't know. I've not gone to KL for quite some time, you see. It's sad. It is a treasure to us, you see. Well, I would say I was, in fact, coaching, right? And it's sad to see that lots of former athletes who have sacrificed so much are not even being recognized. You see, we don't get medical. Earlier, ISN used to, we could go and see the doctors there. Then they started charging, you see, and they expected us to get letters from the Yayasan all the way from KL. From Ipoh, I have to go to the Yayasan, get a letter. I say, good. But the former doctors, they looked after us very well. See? But now, I don't know whether it's opened back for the athletes or not. You see, another sad thing is the whole stadium, the whole of the MSN. You walk around, you hardly see any former athletes' photographs. How will the young ones know the history? They highlight all the present athletes because my profile is there on the door, the glass. Apart from it, there's nothing there. You see? Likewise, all the other athletes, why can't they display? Is it? All these is education for the younger ones. Not because we are going to gain anything. They are going to be motivated. That's all that we want, you see. Well, I walk around the streets as nobody. People only know the name. They don't know the person. Of course, if I have to introduce myself, then the news spreads, you see. Even recently, one Tamil school here, this Tamil school in front of ACS, one of the parents stay here, you see, who came to know me. I'm one person. Known, unknown person walks on the road, I will say hi, good morning, good afternoon. And a lot of foreigners are here. I'm not the one who will just ignore. If you don't say good morning to me once, twice, thrice, I say good morning to you first. Eventually, you will learn to, to greet me, you see, the minute you see. And that is what happens, you see. And this lady also, the minute she saw me, I said, good morning. I said, I have not seen you all around here. And she told me, like, she's just moved in here. 3 sons play golf, all school boys, 9 years, 12 and 14 years. In fact, they're good golfers. See, that means how much sacrifice the parents are doing. And we have become good friends, you see. So she told the headmistress that she sends the children, 2 children to the Tamil school, you see. And the headmistress that, she has met me. No, the boy Googled and, and then when I showed the headmistress, this auntie, we know her, my mother's good friend. So immediately they invited me for school sports, you see. So I was very happy to go because at least then you can talk to the children, You see, I proudly say I wouldn't have made the grade not for my father and my coaches, you see. So likewise, I always say parents play your role. See, instead of sitting there and watching TV or going out and, take your children, buy a ball and kick the ball around. Eventually, you find maybe now you have 2 children, 4 will come in, the group, and then children will get motivated, you see. So that is one of the things that I look forward to. I hope some people who have power would talk to parents, at gatherings and all and say, take your children out of the house, let them play. Let them do what they want on the field. Eventually, they will get hooked onto it. That is what happened to me. Not only me, there are many others the same way, you see. So, parents should play the role. Well, sports is not only for people to achieve. It is also for people to live a healthier life. Instead of sitting in front of the TV, why can't they go out, play whatever you can, you see? You cannot worst walk. My daughter and son-in-law, they are 50 plus. They hike up the Gunung here and come down. You see? I would say I've gone to Kailas, Mount Kailas in India, the center of the universe, twice. You see? Of course, at that time I was younger, 60s and, coming to 70, See, I could do it. 1, determination. 2, willpower. And my activities, daily living, you see. I hardly sit. I do gardening. I pluck flowers. I go for my walk. You see. So it's high time we Malaysians left the TV alone for, to rest at certain times and out of the house. Parents should get their children out of the house in the evenings, weekends. You see, not only builds their character, devotion, contribution, they also are motivated to go along the right path, and family unity comes in, you see. Then we won't have so much youth giving problem. That is my dream. leave alone sports lah. Not everybody can, achieve, but